मोनालिसा ने ज्वाइन किया क्या?
सर मोना हॉस्पिटल में उसका वैक्सीन का स्लॉट है आज।
वो आज वैक्सीन ले रही है?
हाँ, उसकी मम्मी का है, उसका किसी एक का स्लॉट है, उसी का है शायद स्लॉट है, तो वो इसीलिए शायद नित्या कंडक्ट कर रही है।
ठीक है, ठीक। I think you can.
Yes, sir, we'll start. So, a warm welcome everyone. Today I think we have one of the most awaited seminars. At least when I started series, I was very much awaiting for this person to give his expertise or his experience on to come on this platform. And we are very happy to welcome Dr. Danie Shajie. More than an alumni, he was always a part of FCTL, and I would also like to welcome his head of the department, Dr. Rajalakshmi ma'am. Is she there? Okay, so on the 15th series of our webinar, today we have Dr. Danie Shajie presenting on his lecture on the 3D printing of foods, which is like one of the most talked about topic today, because everything has been implementing by artificial intelligence and coding and neural networks, and obviously 3D printing was something people are really looking forward. When IIT recently, when the topic of 3D printing was quite in news, when IIT Chennai developed India's first home, 3D printed home, and I think that was built in their campus. So more than for the academic talk, I think one of the very few seniors I have been like in contact was Danie sir, was one of them. I will explain him as one of the seniors who is like, you can get guided by him, and he will be very strict when there is work, and someone who can be so passionate. We have seen him working really late at night and finishing off his work, but that person is one of the most coolest senior I have ever seen in my life. Like we still in our lab, when Danie sir used to be there, the environment of lab was to be totally different. Like someone who can be so gelling up with the juniors and be so respectful to the seniors. I think very few people I have seen in my academic life or in my professional life was one of Danie sir. So let's take him forward to the seminar. Let's welcome him, and I will request our Professor Mishra. Before going to his introduction, I'll request Professor Mishra to tell him his experience with Danie sir. Sir.
Thank you, Jayashree. In fact, not only my experiences, but experiences of everybody has been very nice with Danie. In fact, we used to say that he is a stone apple. All right. From outside, if you see Danie, but particularly by seeing his personality, people are afraid of talking to him. But when you go really closer to him, yes, that once you start talking to him, you will not feel that, oh, I should stop talking. He's such a nice person. And in fact, Danie rightly told that when these people he was there, he's one of the person who has been involved in that not only his work, but in many other developmental works of the lab. He used to take care of the facilities of his youngsters. He in fact worked as a PhD student, and after completing PhD, he again came for some time where he worked as a postdoctoral fellow in that laboratory. So he was also giving the fatherly treatment to all the fellows. So I think that is what briefly I would like to say about him. We cherished and we wish him that now I am sure that in his new assignment, before joining that Rajalakshmi College, from here he went to Perth. Right, there also he did very good work. And I am sure that at Chennai, Rajalakshmi College, he has reached to his home place though, but I think he will continue doing good work and do the things in his best perspective. This. Thank you. Over to Jasri. Thank you,
Thank you,
Jasri.
sir.
Danny, keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this warm introduction, and thank you so much for your nice words, sir. Always motivating and encouraging. Thanks a lot.
Over to.
Yes, sir.
इनफैक्ट डैनी का अभी भी रसगुल्ला वाला फोटो हम लोग को याद आता है पिकनिक में.
सर दही का हांडी, वो पूरा दही का हांडी लास्ट का.
That is the best experience. हम लोग का पिकनिक में कभी कोई चीज वेस्ट नहीं होता था. Whatever.
सर वेस्ट से ना पूरा प्लानिंग डैनी सर करते थे. तुम ये करोगे, तुम वो करोगे, हम लोग सब हाँ सर क्या करना बताइए, हम लोग करते थे.
रसगुल्ला, मिष्टी दही, है ना. लास्ट में पूरी हंडी डैनी के साथ होती थी.
सर वो बन गया था, पिकनिक का रूल बन गया था that we have to take a picture of him either holding a
we really miss that.
Same here, sir.
हालांकि इस साल कोरोना में तो पिकनिक ही नहीं हुआ, लेकिन जब भी हुआ तभी every picnic we miss Danie.
Yes sir.
Okay.
Like sometimes we sit in lab and while eating also we remember if Danie sir used to be there, the food would have been different. Like that will have, like sometimes we have worked. He have corrected my registration PPT and we have like ate with him also on lunch. This is a different whole through different experience. But anyhow, thank you sir for telling your experiences with our today's speaker. So moving on, I'll just give a brief introduction about him. He's currently working as an associate professor, Department of Food Technology, Rajalakshmi Engineering College in Chennai, and he has previously worked in our lab as a PhD research scholar, working on ready-to-eat therapeutic food paste, and for that he have bagged an Gandhian Youth Innovation Awards. Apart from that, he has lots of journals, conferences, and conferences, journals, and publications in his bag. Before joining as an associate professor, he worked as a fortification technical specialist in rice fortification project in Path. His journey has made him collect lots of accolades and achievements in his life. We are really blessed to have him as a part. Danie sir, I would request you to present your presentation. Today's topic is 3D printing of foods.
Thanks a lot, Jayashree, and thank you so much, Mishra sir, for giving this opportunity. Yeah, thanks a lot, Mishra sir, for this opportunity, for helping me to present on this topic. It feels it's good to see a lot of known people after a long time after this lockdown and staying indoors. Though staying indoors, we're not meeting anyone, but it feels good to see most of my juniors, my friends, my colleagues, and the head of the department joining in this seminar, and it feels good. And thank you so much, sir, for your motivating words and for your always being there with your encouraging words and support and guidance whenever it is required, and pushing us to reach newer limits. And if not for you, I'm not sure that we would have moved this far. And thank you so much for your blessings and support. And thanks, Jayashree, for those kind words. And yeah, and I would also like to thank all the participants who have joined, all my juniors, friends, colleagues, and all the participants who have accepted the request and have eagerly joined to listen to the seminar. I think I will do justice to it. And just a minute. So today's topic is for the seminar is 3D printing of foods. Kind of a very innovative topic, and when this lecture series was happening in FCTL, the lecture series. This was a topic that struck me, and I thought, like, okay, when the turn comes to me, I will present this topic. So, not much of research I'm doing in this area. Just a topic that was interesting to me, so I just read about it. I'm just going to present some updates about it, what is happening, how it's being done, and currently who's in India doing some research into it. Coming to innovations in food technology, there has been tremendous fronts that we have achieved in terms of, be it product-based developments or process innovations, or in terms of packaging and storage. There has been a huge achievement that has been we have attained, be it developing different process technologies, whether it is non-thermal process or thermal process, in extending the shelf life of food, keeping it for a longer period of time without deteriorating its quality, or be it developing innovative packaging technologies, or developing innovative foods like ready-to-eat food products, convenience foods, the food that remains stable for a longer period of time, so consider for 2 years, or so there has been a lot of innovations, a lot of efforts that has been research has happened in the food technology sector, and 3D printing is one of the emerging techniques that has been moving towards product development innovation. So, what exactly this 3D printing? 3D printing, as the name suggests, we know when there is an input that is given, we get an output. It's printed in a two-dimensional structure. So, 3D printing, kind of an innovative manufacturing technology where it follows additive manufacturing. As opposed to subtractive manufacturing, where we add inputs, or we add the material to it to get a particular structure or the design that we intend to get. And usually there are two types of manufacturing. In the subtractive manufacturing, it's usually like the way you can see an image, it's usually consider, you can just imagine you have a square, or you have a cube, and you wanted to modify that cube into a sphere. So the extra edges and everything will be smoothened and removed, or cut or drilled to get a sphere. So that is called the subtractive manufacturing. And additive manufacturing is, you start from the scratch, and you add a base, and you add the materials, you build upon it based upon the design that is being set. And 3D printing, it's a very new technique. It's more than a decade-year old, and but it's very, very new to food sector, and it is also growing globally, with expected to reach of about $30.19 billion by 2022. So 3D printers started at 1984 using by Charles L, using a technique called stereolithography. And it's just 15 years old when they started introducing 3D printing to food, where a group of researchers at Cornell University, they started developing this 3D printing for food, and they called it Fab at Home. And this is kind of an open source technology where we can take it at home, and we can design food based upon our interest or our customization design. And this is one of the first open source do-it-yourself 3D printer in the world, and that follows the extrusion pattern of printing, and where the designs or the patterns can be selected as per our innovation, and the food ingredients can be selected, and it can be printed. So 3D printing, before coming to food, it has been used for a lot of various other sectors like automobiles, aeronauticals, using metals, polymers, alloys, and inorganic chemicals. So these metals and materials, they have a very unique, definite structure, definite pattern, different properties. But when it's come to food, though the individual ingredients, they act in a different they act in a defined manner, but when it comes together as in the food matrix, or as a whole component, each component behaves in a different manner. So developing 3D printing of food is always a challenge, and they have achieved some significant trends in this 3D printing. And we'll see furthermore on how or what are the methods and what ways the 3D printing is being done, and what are the ingredients that are being used for 3D printing. So how this 3D printing is, and what is the mechanism, or what are the steps it's usually known. So for 3D printing, imagine you the unlike a 2D print, you will have the end product is a customized 3D filled solid. Okay, so it's like it's in the three-dimensional solid, and so usually the initial step is to have a 3D model design, or a structure that you wanted to print, be it a cup or a mask, or any sort that depends upon your imagination. So you have a design, and that design you translate into the system, into the software using the codes. They have the G codes and the M codes. So they convert this design into machine language, which will guide the printer to print as required or as per the design. So this G code, it's usually what they do is which is in a printable format, and this is what's majorly